Welcome everybody to the TFT 10.8 patch rundown. In this video we are going to talk about the latest patch, all the changes, or at least the most important, to save some time, and how these changes might change the meta right now. So in this highlight panel we can see there are some buffs, nerfs, and adjustments as usual, and there is our new 5-star unit, Zerath. Zerath is a Darkstar sorcerer, pretty nice. Going to talk about this right now a bit more in detail. So his ultimate Abyssal Bombardment. Basically, when he gets his mana, he starts to bombard the enemies, quite literally, dealing magic damage for 6, 8, or 45 seconds. And if he kills an enemy with such an attack, all adjacent enemies take extra damage. And, which is more important, they are stunned for 1.5 seconds. So, next, some system changes. We have 2 new galaxies in addition to the 10.7 additions. We have Trade Sector. Players get 1 free reroll in each round. Pretty nice. I think this is gonna be really interesting, especially for hyper roll comps. I'm really interested. Haven't got the chance to play this galaxy as of now, but I think it's gonna be a lot of fun to play these galaxies. And with these galaxies, I also mean the super dense galaxy, which I played twice until now. Upon reaching level 5, players receive a free Force of Nature. So you get level 5, you automatically get a Force of Nature, which means 2 more units on level 5. This is really nice to get some early comp completion. Like, for example, you want to have a 6 cybernetic comp, which is a bad example because you won't have echo to this point. But let's just pretend. So you're going to have a 6 trait bonus on level 5 already with your Force of Nature if you want to. Pretty nice. And of course, later on in the game, you get maybe even 10 units, or like a match before I played was quite interesting because I got a second Force of Nature, which didn't do too much, honestly, but it was quite fun at least. Alright, so really important change. Win and lose streaks are now not as easy to get anymore as before. Like with Galaxies, the streaks were really, really important and powerful, especially early game when you really felt like you don't have much gold at all. So now you have a 2 to 3 win or loss streak for 1 gold, 4 wins or losses for 2 gold, and 5 plus for 3 gold. Also, you will get more damage throughout the game, so loss streaking might not be as good as it was before anymore, so definitely something to keep in mind. And I guess win streaking might be the way to go. Quite like, I mean, yeah, it's difficult, but it's really rewarding as well. You get the point. Traits, really interesting. We have a lot of new high-end trait builds. 9 Blade Master, 9 Darkstar, 6 Infiltrator, 6 Protector, 9 Rebels, and 8 Sorcerers. Really, really interesting stuff, especially like 8 Sorcerers plus 125 spell power for your whole team is insane. Of course, 8 Sorcerers is also a really high commitment. So you still need a front line, right? Um, Rebels, I mean, you need two spatula West items to get your 9 rebels. Same for um, Blade Master and Darkstar, I believe. Or Darkstar, no, with the new legendary unit, you only need one additional Darkstar item. And yeah, 6 Infiltrator, you only need one Infiltrator item with a spatula, which is pretty neat. Um, could be a lot of fun, especially for these Infiltrator mech boys on level 9. Might be good. Like imagine a Infiltrator Gangplank just going to your backline, hitting stuff while all the enemy units are occupied by attacking the mech, and then the big nukes from Gangplank come down and have the demolitionist buff as well. Well, yeah, some interesting changes. Also, as you can see, Mech Pilot got changed quite a bit. You now have a 1800 health baseline plus 50% of pilot's health. And also the damage got adjusted a little bit, not too much. It's a bit weaker overall. And what I really wanted, and we have it already, thanks Riot, I guess, Mercenary added visualization to indicate purchased mercenary upgrades for Gangplank and MF, of course. If you haven't seen it yet, it's just like little. It's a little circular visualization beneath your hero unit. Pretty neat. I really dislike the fact that you bought some upgrades for your champion and afterwards you didn't even knew anymore. Like you didn't even know anymore what upgrades you really got. Now you have a indication for that. All right, champions, lots of changes. Caitlyn got another buff. She really hurts now in the early game with 1500 spell damage on level 2. Xayah got buffed in 10.7 already, her baseline attack speed. Now her plumage attack speed gets also buffed. So she might be really, really insane with those static shifts, rage blades in the early game. Might be a thing to keep in mind. Zoe some buffs, much needed. Annie got some buffs. Darius another buff. He needs less mana now. Rakan got changed quite a bit. He now targets the furthest enemy within 3 hexes. Sorry. Rakan has a much smaller radius now, which is not really as good as before, in my opinion. And to kind of counter the nerf on his radius, he has a smaller mana pool, so he ults more than before, which is good. But I'm not really sure, like, we will see. I feel like this is more than a nerf than anything else, but we'll see. Alright. Shaco got a little nerf on his attack damage as well as level 1 ult damage. And here, Welkos. Welkos is really strong, at least he was. Now he has a smaller duration, which means he doesn't have that much of a range anymore with this ult. But this might be pretty good, honestly, because in lots of my Welkos matches, what happened was he started to attack from way too far on the right or left, and it took forever until he reached the enemy, stabbing him in his eye right in front of him. Maybe it's a little better now, but yeah, we'll see. They even right here more efficiently on smaller groups of units. Of course, when he gets a chance to target bigger groups, it's not as good anymore. We will see. Alright, and some Aurelion Sol buffs as well. He didn't perform really good anymore since I don't want to say Rebel nerf, since they really just nerfed like Gangplank and Misfortune, but yeah, you know what I mean. Items, really nice. Jealous of Favor now grants mana to the holder, which is good. Jealous of Favor is not really a good item in my opinion. Might be a bit better now. Deathblade, again, another change to the Deathblade. It starts with 0 stacks again, and now does double the additional damage per stack, which is really insane. Like if your unit stacks fast, the AD is gonna be insane. Like really. Frozen Heart, another buff. 50% is pretty decent, I guess. Rapid Fire Cannon, bonus damage buffed from 100 to 200%, and it gets a visual beam if you put it on a low range champion. Like, I liked the rapid fire cannon before, like especially on a unit like Kale. But now, like if you put it on a, let's say, Master Yi, it might be really, really good. Like your close range unit now get like I should think it's 660 range, which is pretty insane. Like it's yeah, I'm really interested to see some units utilizing this item now. Shroud of Stillness with got a little bit buffed, which is good. And here Zeke's Herald range got nerfed from 2 hexes on each side to 1 hex on each side, but the attack speed buff got almost doubled, which is pretty interesting. Like, I guess what I disliked about this item before is like you usually want to have it on your backline, but maybe you don't want to have like your whole backline next to each other, like 5 units in the backline all next to each other. So now you have just a smaller group, maybe on the left of your board, maybe in the middle, and maybe it's better to just focus on 3 units for the attack speed buff. But yeah, I'm not quite sure on this, so let's just test it a little bit and we will see. Here's some extra shields in overtime now have 66% reduced effectiveness, same as healing, which is nice. Some bug fixes, and yeah, I mean that's pretty much about it. I haven't mentioned the cybernetic nerf, which is pretty good in my opinion. 6 cybernetics were really, really strong right now. They got a small nerf, not too much. 3 cybernetics still untouched, which is good, I think. Tear of Goddess now gives only 15 mana, not 20 anymore, and all tier items got adjusted according to that. I don't really know if that was necessary. I mean, tiers are good, but overall, I think like the swords are the by far most powerful item in the game right now. Maybe the sword should have been nerfed instead. We will see. Anyway, I think that wraps it up for now. We are going to have some videos on this patch, like gameplay wise. And yeah, if you have any questions, write a comment down below. Ask me anything you like. I'll try to answer as quickly as possible. And we'll see each other in the next TFT video. Thanks and bye bye.